From the Figure 4 Online Studios in beautiful Bothell, Washington, exclusively at WrestlingObserver.com, you're listening to The Bryan and Vinny Show with your hosts, Brian Alvarez and Big Vinny V.
All right, everybody, it's Bryan Vinny Show, December 7, 2017, figure4online.com/WrestlingObserver.com. Thursday night here, therefore, we will be joined by Granny here in just a moment. And then there is the NXT show, as we watch every Thursday night. And it is a Thursday night potpourri. A lot of people have been saying, guys should watch some indie wrestling. There's so many indies out there. So expand your horizons. So, I looked through the Fight app. Even though if you recall on Sunday, I determined I was never using the Fight app again. Remember that?
I do.
Well, I got a new iPhone. Brand new iPhone. Seems to be working great. So, I went through the Fight app, and first thing that comes up is Booker T's Reality of Wrestling.
Yes.
WWE Hall of Famer Booker T's promotion down there in Texas. I thought, man, this looks like a winner. Let's watch Booker T's Reality of Wrestling. Now, we had another disaster trying to get this onto the television. I did ask around. I asked people, is this my problem or is this something with the Fight app? And the response I got was, it's the app. So, for all of you listening to this right now, who happen to have an iPhone and an Apple TV, and you're trying to figure out how to AirPlay the Fight app to your TV, I tonight will tell you how to do it. And I'll also tell you what not to do, because it's very easy to screw this up. So, you're getting more than your money's worth tonight. You're getting tech support, as well as a review of Booker T's Reality of Wrestling. I would like to add that Reality of Wrestling's Christmas Chaos is coming up here soon. Can all look forward to that. I think it's coming up this weekend.
Well, hey.
Christmas Chaos 12, December 9, 2017. Look at that.
48 hours.
Man,
24
oh man.
for most people listening to this.
That's crazy. Well, look at this. This is classic. So, if you go to the page, there's a big graphic here that says Christmas Chaos, December 9, 2017. But if you go right next to it, upcoming Reality of Wrestling events, Christmas Chaos, December 19th. Someone screwed up somewhere.
Or it's a tour, like the Great American Bash.
I see. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's a tour, dude.
Oh, you never know.
We need to find out.
Texas is big.
Find out, Vinny, when Christmas Chaos actually is.
All right.
Because their website is telling me 2 completely different days. My guess is it is actually this weekend because the 19th of December is a Tuesday.
That's a weird day.
So I'm thinking that's the typo. I believe that Christmas Chaos at the World Gym Arena, 10,000 Emmett F. Lowry in Texas City, Texas. I believe it's this coming Saturday. That's my educated opinion.
The big fancy graphic they made certainly says the 9th.
Yeah, I think that's when it is.
Meet and greet with Johnny Impact also on the 9th. It appears that there's 2 9ths on here and 1 19th.
Yeah, I think it's the 9th.
Yeah.
Now, unfortunately,
split the difference. Go on the 15th.
Unfortunately, you all did miss the big BCW event when Reality of Wrestling returned to the Lone Star Rally. This was on November 4th. BCW, Bikes, Chicks, Wrestling. Presented by Walker, Texas Lawyer.
He's not making that part up.
I'm living in the wrong state. I can tell you that right now. They got a lot of great sponsors, including Walker, Texas Lawyer, the King of Solar Screens, and of course, Booker T's own Heated Conversations radio show on Saturday nights.
I like they're apparently sponsored by Shield.
The Shield, maybe.
No, it's not The Shield. It's the from Marvel Comics, their own TV show. They have the Shield logo over on the side here. It doesn't link to anything. You just, it's just Shield.
I hope that Booker T's Heated Conversations is not airing head-to-head with this Christmas Chaos show. That would be a bad job of promotion. Anyway, we're going to talk about this more in a bit. Let's get Granny here on the line. All right, we're back here on the air. Granny's trying to just take over the show during the break there. What's happening today, Granny?
Now I won't talk.
Oh, now we're on the air, so now you do talk.
I'm just kidding. Nobody has any sense of humor.
That's clear.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say that I got a message from Ed, and he said it's snowing down there.
Snowing?
Yeah, so I
So he
said,
wants sympathy?
I said, you're lucky you're not in California with the fires.
That's right. He is lucky he's not in California.
Yeah, that's a good
He's
call.
lucky he's not in a lot of places.
So I said, just go out and build a snowman.
Oh, my God. Can you imagine Ed Snowman? All right, what do we got this week?
Oh, we're going to go, I think I've only got 7 this week, but that doesn't matter because they're for next week. But I told everybody we'd start where we left off last week. And
The
do
Christmas
those.
poetry.
Yeah, we're going to do
Okay.
it the rest of the month until Christmas.
Oh, man, that's a lot of poems. Get ready, Vinny. It's only the 7th. There's at least 2 more weeks of this. Maybe, let me look at my calendar here. There's 2 more weeks of this. So 3 weeks total. This and 2 more.
Okay.
Let's get going.
I shall do my best to remember where we left off. I don't think I read this one. Kyle Vanderhoven.
I'll be the judge of that.
Fine, because I'm not sure. Christmas morning at Granny's house, she turned to Brian when he sniffed. Brian cried out, "I'm so filled with guilt, I forgot to buy you a gift."
We've read this
I
one.
did it. You're right. I'm sorry.
Damn it. Have we read Mike
okay.
Flynn's yet? I can't believe that guy's busy sending you poetry in the middle of all of this.
I did that one. Okay, I think how
It's a good thing that, we had time before we went on the air.
I tried. I did my best.
I wished I'd have got to it earlier, but I didn't.
Drew Stevenson. May your 2017 end with a bang. Call Tom, Craig, and even Purple Wang. And drink all the eggnog, wine, and beer as aggressively as Fabricio Verdum throwing a boomerang.
What? He was doing so well till the end there.
It was AABA is the rhyme scheme there.
It sucked. You know my rules. I want easy, simple, rhyming poetry.
Clark Kuzman. Christmas time in Washington State. Decorations are up, and the tree looks great. Sit by the fire to escape the cold. Please don't put Santa in a neck hold.
That's a good one.
What do you think about that one, Granny? You really should be giving away prizes. These are so good.
Well, I tried to give away $10, but whoever it was hasn't picked it up. So I don't
Again?
know.
This is like the 3rd time they haven't accepted their money.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Man.
I send it if they
You know,
don't
you
pick
can
it
send
up.
all that money to me if they're not going to claim it. That'll get people to take it.
I'll let you send me money.
I do every month for your life alert.
Oh, okay.
Ah, yeah. Just a friendly reminder to keep it on. Let's go, Vinny.
Eric Joseph. Granny was sat by the front door with cheer, in hopes that her grandson soon would be here. But he never showed up, because he was a liar. So she settled in for some beer near the fire. 'Twas 12
Aye.
days later when he finally arrived to drink all her eggnog and eat all her pies. But Granny is gracious. She's got a fine soul. She still gave him his present, a big lump of coal.
That is excellent.
That is the best one yet.
They broke every rule because it was supposed to be a 4-line poem. But in breaking that rule, they had the best one.
That was the best
He
one.
kind of bent the rules because he just wrote the lines really long.
I see.
There's only
that's,
4 of them.
That's cheating. If there were a cash prize to give out, we couldn't give it to that person because who is that again?
Eric Joseph.
Eric Joseph. We could give it to Eric if there were a cash prize because he cheated, but artistically, that's the best one so far.
Yep, very good.
Jason Scott. It's Christmas time on Earth. Vinny's waist has the girth. Granny's bringing the guilt. Stat. The Earth is really, truly flat.
Come on.
I think we had that one last week.
No, we didn't. I'd have made
About flat Earth. Okay.
What have you been reading in the meantime?
Joel Osteen.
Joel Osteen is a flat earther?
No.
Are you sure? Now that I think about it.
Who cares?
I care.
Granny's just full of passion for the show tonight.
I care. I care if Joel Osteen is a flat earther or not. This is very important to me.
Why? What difference does it make?
Makes a lot of difference, Granny.
If he's right or wrong, doesn't matter.
Wait a second. It doesn't matter if Joel Osteen is right or wrong?
About the Earth.
What are you talking about?
You're talking about the Earth being round.
Yeah, but if he's wrong, it does matter. No?
Mm-mm.
Ian Michael Taylor.
I need subscribers like Granny. Thousands of them.
Here with the booze is B&V for the Christmas show Frivolity. Now comes the drunken holiday blur. They'll ring in the new year with a hangover.
That's pretty good.
Except that it isn't.
Vinny really struggled to make that one okay.
I do my best.
Boy, they really have to rhyme for you, don't they,
They
Brian?
sure do.
Wow.
They sure do. I've been reading children's books for crying out loud. I have high demands in my rhyming poetry.
Rohan Unrao. A Christmas gift for Lance. Better than ribbons and curls. It's an actual mania payoff, not jobbing to the catfight girls.
That's not bad.
Mike Flynn.
What?
Yes, Mike Flynn has been
Wow.
posting to your Facebook.
For like a year.
Yeah.
How about that?
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
You'd think he'd have better things to do.
You'd
but
think he would, but he's going to have a lot of free time, maybe.
That's true. May your Christmas time be good and swell. Except for you, Apple, go to hell. For iPhone updates causing perplex, your gift is a Snapdragon duplex.
Can I tell a story here real quick? I'm
thought you'd
going to
want
try and
to.
use as little profanity as I can. So
Please
we
do.
went to the mall on Monday, and my iPhone, Whitney and I both have the 6. She had the 6 Plus, I had the 6. We've had them for 3 years. They're fucking unusable now after all of these latest updates. So I went into the Apple store because I was going to buy, are you ready for this? 2 iPhones and an iPad.
All right?
That's a pretty spendy day, right?
Yeah.
So I walk in there, and someone comes up to me and they said, "Can I help you?" And I said, "Yes, I'd like to get. I'm looking for an iPhone 8, an iPhone 10, and an iPad." And he looks at me like, "All of them today?" I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "All right. Well, stand right here. I'll put you in the queue.
Yeah.
Stand right here by this Apple TV." Fucking stand there by this Apple TV for 20 minutes. And like people are coming in and they're getting helped. I'm still standing by this stupid Apple TV. So finally I go to this other lady and I'm like, "Can I see where I'm in line?" And she goes, "Oh, looks like you're not in the queue. I'll make sure that you go next." So it's now been like 25 minutes I've been standing around. So finally some guy comes up to me and he goes, "How can I help you?" I said, well, like I told the first guy, I'm trying to buy an iPhone 10, an iPhone 8, and an iPad. And the guy goes, and keep in mind, there's desks full of iPhones. You ever been to the Apple store?
I have.
There's like rows and rows of iPhones, so you can check them all out and see which one you want. I said, I'll take an Apple 10, an iPhone 10, an iPhone 8, and an iPad. Guy goes, "You can only get the 10 online." Okay, now first off, why do you have all these phones there if I can't buy it in the store? That's number one. Number two, why didn't you fucking tell me 20 minutes ago that I couldn't get the iPhone 10 here? Instead, you made me stand in line, and then finally when someone came to me, you told me I couldn't get it there in the store. I walked out. Went to another Apple store later and got it.
You showed them.
I did show them. I didn't get the 10. I got the 8.
Aha.
That's right.
You punished them by
I did punish
getting
them.
a worse phone for yourself.
It's like when you go to Starbucks and you're like, "Can I get the steak and egg wrap?" And they go, "We don't have any. We ran out. But do you want another sandwich?" "No, I don't want another sandwich. I want a steak and egg wrap." You're not going to talk me into spending money on something else. I'm so hot right now. Read some poetry, Vinny.
Phil M. This Christmas season is full of
Too bad it's not Phil N. That'd be funny. Go ahead.
This Christmas season is full of cheers, but Vinny's house has only tears. Because,
Mine too.
Because fulfilled are his worst fears. The Headbangers are around for 2 more years.
Oh my God, are they really?
That's what he says.
That's impossible.
Shelby Stowe.
These names have got to be made up.
I just read them. 'Twas the holiday season, and everyone nestling was snug in their beds, observing the wrestling.
That's the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
I like ones like that too, where you're waiting for more, but they don't give it to you.
That was okay, though. Is that all?
Oh, there's a bunch more.
Oh, there's a bunch more, Granny.
okay.
But we're going to do 2 more because then I want to get the wrestling report.
Liam Jordan. Silent Night, Bloody Night was an Impact match with hazards.
It's the anniversary today. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah,
Of
it's
the
like
barbed wire Christmas
I'm pretty
tree?
sure it was like today or
The
yesterday or
most
something.
popular show we ever did.
Yeah, something like that.
Silent
Took
Night.
years off my life.
Silent Night, Bloody Night was an Impact match with hazards. Relic competed. Oh, what a sight! His name is Killer spelled backwards.
Got it, Granny?
Uh-uh.
Okay. One more.
I'm skipping that one.
Why?
All right.
No, just tell me why. If it's bad, I don't want to know. Is it lewd?
It's a bathroom humor joke that I don't get.
Ah, forget it. I hate those.
Yeah.
I ain't Vince McMahon.
Doug Masudia. Happy holidays. Happy Honda days. Happy Holland days. Brian Short.
Kind of dumb.
Thank you, Granny. You know what? That one was kind of dumb. I'd go as far as say it was really dumb. It didn't rhyme.
Sorry, Douglas.
Yeah, Douglas, get out of here. All right, Granny, let's do the wrestling report. We'll get into more holiday cheer next week when I'm in a better mood.
Well, every week you save all your rants for when you're on my show.
Nah, I just remember things.
Oh. You know, talking about that, I hate that WWE so bad.
Uh-oh.
I go in there and I can't find anything on 205 and I can't find anything on anything.
Okay.
So
I'm going to
the
come over and help you, Granny, because there's a lot of complaints about WWE, but it's not hard to find things on the WWE network.
Well, I get
Usually
on
you
there.
just have to scroll down.
I get on it for the day and everything, and all they do is a bunch of talking. No wrestling, just talking.
Well, that is 205 Live. It's mostly talking.
Okay, I don't like that.
I don't either. It sucks. I thought you meant you couldn't find the show.
No, I find
Okay.
both of them, but they're
Okay.
not even worth reporting on.
Well, you're right. You're right, Granny.
But I did find one on 205 with Dar and Alexander. Got to turn my lights up. Okay. And I don't know how you pronounce the name. Kulak? Is it K-U-L-A-C?
Can we go back to the lights for a second?
Why?
Have you been doing the show in the dark this whole time?
No, I just had to turn them brighter.
Okay.
Because she's now reading from paper, Vinny, not off the computer.
They're controllable.
Oh, good.
She has controllable lights.
I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah,
They're
it's
not-
not. It's not fire.
It's not mandatory.
So this is Gulak.
Yeah. Is that his name?
Yes, Drew Gulak.
Okay, anyway, he comes out and he sits with the announcers. And then Dar and Alexander come out. And as usual, punches and kicks and arm twisting and by Dar and elbow about Alexander. And Kulak keeps talking to Dar. Dar gives Alexander a kick out. Got his foot
Gives him a
caught.
kick out.
Got
Man.
his foot caught in the rope. Dar kicked him, then took Alexander and slammed him on the mat for the win. I gave that one a 6.
6.
Okay, then I went back kind of. So I went to April 1st, 2016 with Zahn versus Nakamura.
Sami Zayn and Nakamura.
Huh?
It was a very famous match, Granny. NXT, right?
I didn't notice.
Well,
Anyway.
anyway.
It's on twists. Ouch. My ear's itching. Ow.
What's going on over
Are there
there?
bugs in your house? What's happening?
What the hell was that?
I had an itch in my ear. Zahn twists Nakamura's fingers, and Nakamura turns the tables on him. And Nakamura kicks on in the ribs and gets an arm bar on him. Nakamura bangs Zayn's nose against the armbar. Zayn comes back.
Rammed his nose against an arm bar?
Zayn comes back, gives Nakamura a skull duplex. Both fall out of the ring.
Whoa, a skull duplex?
That should be the move of the year.
Okay, anyway. So both fell out of the ring. Nakamura gives Zayn a wheelhouse, whatever that is.
Wheelhouse.
Both down. Oops.
This better get a 10.
And
So your ear again?
more punching and kicking, and both Nakamura gets up on the rope, jumps, and gives Zayn a drop kick hard on the side of his head for the win. I gave that a 9.
A 9?
Wow, it sounded like a 9.
Nakamura and Zayn.
Yeah. Some people, Granny, gave that a 10.
Huh?
Some
Well, I was gonna, but I have another one I give a 10 to.
Oh, really?
So it was
Okay.
better than Nakamura and Zayn.
Spoiled it here.
Or tease.
Okay. So then a couple of guys on Granny's gave me some ideas, so I went and looked at them, and this one's kind of weird. It's NJPW Black Tiger 2 versus Taka Mikinokan or something.
Pretty close, actually.
Super Shake Cup 1994.
Wow.
Yeah, and this was
Wow.
this was all Japanese announcers.
Yes.
Couldn't understand a thing they said. So they had elbow chops and a lot of kickouts and sub holds and jumping over each other and kicking out of the ring and fighting outside the ring and
It's hard when the announcers aren't telling you what everything's called, isn't it?
yeah. And the one guy had a mask on and he had blonde hair, so I don't think he was Japanese. Anyway, so they were back and forth and the guy with the mask won it. I gave that a 5.
Wow. 5.
Then this other guy gave me an idea. It's called September 16th, 2006.
Rolls off the tongue.
Unforgiving.
Unforgiving.
Forgiving.
Huh?
Okay, what was the match?
That's what it was called, Unforgiving.
No, who was in it?
I'm telling you in a minute.
Okay, sorry.
Okay. It was Shawn, Big Show, Vince,
Oh, Big Show.
Triple H, and Shawn.
Shawn,
Michaels.
Big Show, Vince, Triple H, and Shawn.
Shane.
Shane, okay, I was like, you had Shawn twice.
The Man's in Big Show versus Triple H and Shawn Michaels.
Okay, I got it.
Yes.
And they were in a cage.
Okay.
I'm telling you, this was some kind of match. I kind of gonna go over it just thinking about it, but they just back and forth. And when it first started, Big Show thought he was going to be the big guy. So they guess what they did? They ran over and kicked him in the groin,
Oh, no.
Ooh.
and he was out. So
Yep,
then
that'll
the
do it.
fighting just kept going on, and boy, oh boy, Triple H was going okay, and his partner was going okay, and then Big Show. Remember what I told you about? I heard about Big Show, Brian.
Yeah? Would you like to tell everybody the rumor you heard?
I saw it
You saw it?
on the computer.
Well, why don't you tell everybody what you saw on the computer?
Brian, they
Yes.
even had a picture of it.
Okay, well, tell us what happened.
It was a cage fight,
Okay.
and there was Big
Show.
Show standing in the ring, and there was a little kid in there.
Okay.
And then it said in there, we had to shoot Big Show because they were afraid they were gonna hurt the little boy. And they even said the mother was running up the place looking for him and stuff like that. They made it seem so real.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And
anyway,
the Big Show was not shot.
no, he was
No, he's okay.
in this match. So anyway, this was really a bloody fight. I'm not kidding you. Everybody was at one point. Triple H, who was against him? Anyway, the guy came out with a
It's
screwdriver.
like Dave reviewing PWG right here.
He came out with a screwdriver, and I don't know what he did to Vince, but boy, that guy was just bleeding all over the place. And they were in and out of the ring, and at another point, then Big Show came to again, and he started being a big shot. So they ran and hit him in the back and knocked him out again.
What a rough night for the Big Show.
It is. This is rough.
Yeah, so the whole night he just wasn't in there very much at all because they just got him every time. And so they were just back and forth in the bloodiest mess I ever saw. And they even had a garbage can, and they had Vince over in the corner, and they put the garbage can down on him. And then Sean got up on the rope and jumped on him on the can that hit
That sounds no good.
Triple H. But so it was just a big old bloody mess. And so that's about it.
Well, what'd you give that one?
I gave that a 10.
Whoa, my
10.
God, a 10.
Triple H and Sean won the match.
That's crazy.
And then they had
Significantly better than a Taka Michinoku match, I might add. Twice as good.
Wait a minute, because they took Vince. I'm trying to think. I know they took Sean out. So I've got. Let's see. I've got Sean winning it, but at the end, I thought I saw him take him out to the hospital. So I'm kind of a little mixed up.
Well, you can
there.
win and still go to the hospital, Granny. That happens sometimes.
Yeah, well, they got hurt pretty bad, though. But
Man, that's
that
crazy.
was the bloodiest mess I've seen.
Well, we know what Granny likes in her matches: blood.
Well, I mean, anybody send me some more, I'll look at them.
If you will watch any clip anyone sends you, let's think about this now.
Well, we talked about this last week. They'll be good or they'll be blocked, right, Granny?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Man, that's a hell of a wrestling report, Granny. Good job.
Okay.
What else is going on? Anything else?
I'm getting so I don't want to do minute for minute because it takes too long. Those
Writing down
matches,
all the moves? Yeah, it does take
Yeah.
a while.
It takes anyway.
We just need an overview, Granny. We don't need to know the move for move.
I know that's what I started doing, and I'm getting smarter.
It's good. You're always learning something new at 88.
Hey, before you know it, I'll be doing the same thing you guys will be doing.
What's that?
Just reviewing everything,
That's what we're doing here on this show, Granny.
Every day, yes.
That's what we do here on this show.
I don't understand how you can stand it.
Well, sometimes we can't. That's part of the gimmick.
Yeah, I guess that's the business.
That is the business. Granny's getting the lingo now here as well.
Yeah, I'm really.
Have you heard of Carney?
No.
Okay, I'll teach you some later. All right, anything else?
Nope.
Man, oh man, what are you doing this weekend?
Let's see. Well, Paul's supposed to come over and clean my gutters on Saturday, and I'm not going to miss bingo for anybody. So I'm going to tell him he's going to have to come up some other time because it's going to be icy up there.
It's true.
And then
You be careful out there in that ice, Granny. Have your life alert on.
I don't go out there. I've wore this constantly. Did you send that lady or whoever
Yes,
it was?
I did.
Yeah. I'm so used to it now, and I like the little one that I just wear it all the time.
Good.
Guess
That's
what
what I've been wanting you to do for 2 years now.
Guess what my dream was last night?
What was it?
I thought I heard a noise before I went to sleep, but I thought, I'll just go to sleep. And I dreamt somebody broke in here and stole my purse.
They broke in your house just to steal your purse?
Well, that's the only place I'd have any money.
Oh, you got lucky.
Anyway, that's what my dream was.
Okay.
And I'm going to have my lady friends over next week for a party.
Sounds very exciting.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to retire. This is just the life.
Well, can you imagine my brother retired at 55?
Hey. I got plenty of time.
And he never worked again either.
Yeah, good for him.
Gotta have lunch with your brother sometime.
Yeah.
Well, what
Involves
happened?
saving money, I'm sure, Vinny.
It was back when the what was it, that depression or something in 1980 or something, when they asked him if he wanted to retire, and so they've been paying him ever since.
Where was he working?
Boing.
Boeing? Oh, that's a problem, Vinny. Got to work for Boeing.
See what I can
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. Maybe I'll give you a pension.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. You see, that's good. That's it.
All right, Granny, that's it.
Okay.
All right,
And
get out of here.
Brian, I saw you could take an afternoon off to go up to see Val, so I know you can have some time off to come over and see
You
me.
were there.
I know, but you could come over and see me.
I'll be there.
Okay, goodbye.
Okay, bye-bye. Can you believe what we just heard right there? For those of you unaware, just very quickly, we went to Hawaii for Thanksgiving. So we didn't have Thanksgiving here with the family. So my mom arranged a special afternoon Thanksgiving on a Monday afternoon when I had a little bit of free time. So that's why I went over to my mom's for Thanksgiving. And Granny was there. I still somehow got guilt over this.
You know what's amazing?
Yes.
The match she gave a 10 to. Do you know the one detail she skipped over?
Oh, man.
That was the show where they shoved Vince's head up Big Show's ass.
Really?
She missed it.
Well, there's a lot going on, Vinny.
I guess so.
There was a lot of blood.
When you're taking handwritten notes.
Yeah.
mean-
And she didn't take notes. That was all off the top of her head.
I see.
Yeah. It's pretty impressive because I don't think you could review any of these matches tonight off
Are
the
you
top
kidding
of your
me?
head.
No.
And you just watched them.
Yeah. Well, here we go. NXT, December 6th, 2017. William Regal opened the show with an announcement. Drew McIntyre was injured, so they needed a new challenger to face Andrade Almas at TakeOver in Philadelphia. So they're going to have 8 guys, and you think, okay, they'll do a tournament. Kinda, because they're doing 4 singles matches, and then a 4-way. Because NXT just loves 4-ways. You just have to have a 4-way.
Dude,
whenever
not
you can.
NXT. The entire company loves 4-ways.
I guess that's it.
It's all they do is 4-ways and 3-ways. Like, we had a card for Clash of Champions, and they just changed the whole card to make more 3-ways and 4-ways.
I see. So tonight we're going to get 2 matches. Killian Dane against Trent Seven, and Cassius Ohno versus a mystery opponent, who they pointed out was replacing the Velveteen Dream, who was also injured at TakeOver. Andrade Almas came out for his championship celebration. Zelina was wearing thigh-high red velvet boots over tight leather pants, which were then over a red velvet top. It was like very sexy and very unsexy at the same time. It's very weird. So she cuts a promo about we have to respect the man and embrace the legend and rise for the champ. And Andrade talks for a while, going back and forth from English to Spanish.
Let me talk about this promo. This guy's English needs a ton of work. Like, I'm usually pretty good when people don't have great English understanding what they're saying. I couldn't understand half of what this guy was saying. Here's the thing. They were super into the guy when he first came out. They're chanting C, 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 C. He starts mumbling through his promo, and the crowd completely dies, and then they start doing what chants? This was not what I would deem a success.
Now,
I don't need... If I were running this company, okay, I don't need my champion to be able to speak English. I don't care whether he can speak English or not. If he can speak English and do a good promo, then I'll have him do promos. If he can't speak English, he can still be the champion. He just has to have somebody else do promos for him. Why do they bring in Zelina and still have this guy mumble his way through promos? I don't even get it. That's the point of having a mouthpiece. Not to mention, is there easier heat than a foreigner winning the championship? A heel foreigner, by the way, who refuses to speak English. It's the easiest heat there is.
that would work.
Instead, they got to send him out there, even though he's got a manager and a mouthpiece and he can't speak English. They throw him out there, they make him do a promo. I just don't get it. It's okay to have things in wrestling that are different. Like a guy who doesn't ever do promos because he's got a mouthpiece, because he can't speak English.
Now, speaking of guys who don't need to be cutting promos, Lars Sullivan was talking to the press.
I agree with you 100%. This man should not cut promos. But it was worth it for the end of this segment.
So, Lars's promo he's cutting here is about how Roddy's a very handsome guy. Looks to be on the cover of Men's Fitness. I'm not. And Roddy's very proud of his family. I don't have a family. So basically he's saying Roddy is pretty with a family and I am ugly and alone.
Yeah,
That was his promo.
yeah. But then he gets done.
He says in 2 weeks he's going to beat Roddy, presumably in the 4-way.
Yes.
4-way.
Well, they got a singles match lead to the 4-way.
Yes. Beat Roddy, get into the 4-way, then win the championship at TakeOver. He starts to go. They try to ask him more questions.
It's every press conference you've ever seen. Hey, Lars! One more question, Lars! And he stops, and he turns around, and and he looks at them as if he is about to kill them, and they all go dead silent.
Yeah.
And then he turns and walks in the building.
Because he's Lars Sullivan.
That was the fucking greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. That was worth him cutting promos for the rest of his life. He should do that in every single interview.
Okay, yeah.
Say a few words, go to leave. All the idiots want to ask him one more question. He looks at him. They shut up.
Trent Seven versus Killian Dane in a qualifier for the 4-way. Fattest NXT match we've seen in a while. Like Authors of Pain and Heavy Machinery was fatter. Clearly. There's 4 fat guys instead of 2. But this is paler, hairier, and whiter.
It's a different kind of fat. Like, at least Killian Dane looks like a fat guy who'd kick your ass. I mean, maybe Trent Seven would kick your ass. But physically, he looks like he got plucked out of the crowd, put in very unflattering gear, and thrown in the ring.
He looks like when you go to the beach with your family and you're embarrassed your dad takes his shirt off.
He's a good worker, though.
He's a hell of a wrestler.
But the thing is, old habits die hard. And when I was brought up in this business, as Granny says, the idea was, it's fake, but you go to the gym and you exercise and you work out, so you at least pretend that you're a wrestler who's good enough to be a professional wrestler. You look like an athlete.
He's supposed to be a professional athlete.
He does not look like a professional athlete.
In any way.
He may look like a pro bowler.
Yeah, that'd be close. Or golfer.
No, golfers are much skinnier. You ever seen Tiger Woods?
Well, Tiger's
I don't think there's one golfer that looks like Trent Seven.
Bowler or darts. Those would be your pool, billiards. These are the sports you're looking at.
The non-sports.
The games.
Yes, the games.
Match was fun while it lasted. Seven tried a fireman's carry, but Dane was too fat. So Dane is big and strong. He fireman's carry the big fat Trent Seven. And he went with a Vader bomb. And I didn't even realize this until the very end. It was the female ref working this match. And she counts 3, and Dane pops up, and she goes to raise his hand, and she's just disgusted to have to touch him.
Awesome. I mean, I would be too. It's not a male-female thing.
I'm sure Trent Seven wasn't thrilled about it.
He's very, very hairy.
Yeah.
And he's wet at that point.
And he's wet and smelly.
That's just the worst.
Yeah. Undisputed Era cut a promo bragging about their win at War Games. Cole said next week he's facing Aleister Black.
These kind of things really discourage me from ever wanting to get in the ring again.
Sweaty, hairy men?
Just the remembrance of fat,
You wrestled Nick a lot.
hairy,
Nick Allen.
sweaty men who also put oil on
He was
themselves.
oily and hairy.
Oh, God. Just keep me behind this mic in my nice, dry, hot studio.
So Cole's facing Aleister Black next week. Says he's going to prove Aleister's not on his level. And then in 2 weeks, Fish and O'Reilly are challenging Sanity for the tag team titles. That was it. They made their point. They moved on. Great. Ruby Riott versus Sonya Deville in a no-holds-barred match.
Not only that, a no-holds-barred interpromotional match on a neutral third brand.
It is, actually, yeah.
It's crazy.
SmackDown versus Raw on neutral territory, like I said.
Man, still out of breath from this one.
Was not nearly as exciting as that sounds.
No. But you know what? You know what? Can I say something about this match here?
Well, that's what we're here for.
This finish, I feel, was clearly done based on arguments that Lance and I have had over the years.
Entirely possible.
How many times have we talked about rope breaks in a 3-way? You remember these arguments?
Or a no DQ match.
Or a no DQ match or whatever. And I always bring up, like, you don't have to break the hold when someone grabs the ropes. They can still submit. Mm-hmm. Lance always says they're outside the playing field, the plane of the ring or whatever. Well, as was made abundantly clear here, in this no disqualification match, Sonya put Ruby in a triangle, and Ruby was in the ropes. There are no rope breaks. Did Sonya Deville break? Did she bring her back into the ring because she was outside the plane of the ring or whatever? No, because exactly like I've always said, what if they're in the ropes and, for example, they die? The other person wins, right?
That's how I would do it, yeah.
That's what fucking happened right here. She put her in a triangle.
And she died.
And literally she did. She just went unconscious. And as a result, Sonya Deville was the winner, even though her opponent was in the ropes in this no disqualification match. Thank you.
It was really boring up to that point.
It really was not very good.
Ember Moon met with members of the press, just like Lars Sullivan did. So she's cutting her cheesy WWE promo about fulfilling her destiny when the Iconic Duo interrupted. The Iconic Duo had been together for it feels like about 2 years. And for about 1 year and 11 months, they were just terribly annoying. But they have found a way to be annoying in a very funny manner. It's like the past month or so. This is the best thing they've done. So they're pretending to be members of the media. They grab a guy's mic. They start asking questions. And they point out, the first question is, when you won the championship in the 4-way, who did you pin? And Ember says, I pinned Nikki Cross. Peyton says, that's right. You pinned Nikki Cross. You didn't pin me. I deserve a chance to beat you up. I laughed. So Ember says, okay, which one of you two wants a title shot? And of course, they kind of awkwardly bickered with each other. And Ember laughed and left them to pick a challenger. They went back and forth a bit. Peyton finally won the debate. And they say, okay, you can get the match. They're done. And everyone starts to leave. And off camera, you just hear one guy sheepishly ask, can I have my mic back? And they just look at him. I laughed, and I laughed, and I laughed. This is awesome.
This is very good.
Recap of the Tyler Bate-Pete Dunne feud for the UK title.
They shall be fighting again soon.
Good. That's great news. A shadowy figure is debuting soon, with spades and the word soon instead of the letter O.
Yeah, they had this individual dressed in such a way that you're supposed to think it's a guy.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not.
No.
It's Shayna Baszler. Queen of Spades.
Ah, I see. Cassius Ohno versus a mystery opponent. It turned out to be Johnny Gargano. Oh, a very good match. Shocking.
A very good match. This was a great match. Thing with Cassius Ohno, 205 Live, Granny hates 205 Live. I can't watch the show. It's all about small, talented guys being forced to work like slow, lumbering heavyweights.
Yes.
Meanwhile, Cassius Ohno is a large heavyweight that can work like a heavyweight or a little guy.
Yes.
So at the beginning of this match, when he has to sell for Johnny Gargano, he's working like he weighs 150 pounds.
Right.
He's flying, he's running, he's jumping, he's all over the place. And finally, Gargano goes for his spear from the apron, but Ohno just doesn't even budge, massacres him with a forearm, and now he's a big guy.
And he did.
And he beats the shit out of little, tiny, young, innocent Johnny Gargano. Helpless.
It was amazing.
Destroys this guy.
How he went, because both guys are cheered, and they're both dueling chants early and going back and forth, and then when Cassius cut him off, he stopped being a nice guy. He was a big bully, sneering at Gargano, getting pissed off when he kicked out of moves, and just generally beating the crap out of him.
Sure, but then, near the end, he does begin to get remorseful. He says, come on, Gargano, you're done.
He was imploring the ref to stop the match at one point.
Yeah, but Gargano won't quit.
No.
So he does not remain remorseful. He was remorseful enough for people to recall he's a babyface. Then he boots him in the face again and keeps
exactly
beating his
right.
ass. I gave you your chance, you idiot.
Yes.
You didn't give up, so now I got to kill you.
So the finish of this match was awesome. Johnny's been beaten and beaten and beaten, and he's kicked out of everything. He's kicked out of a senton, he's kicked out of the rolling big boot, he's kicked out of the elbow to the back of the head. So Cassius is going for one more rolling elbow of death, and he comes out of the corner, and Johnny hits a super kick to the elbow. Awesome. He follows it up with a super kick to the knee. Now Cassius' guard is down. Now Johnny hits a super kick to the head because he had to do the first two strikes to get Cassius to lower his defenses. Johnny hits the ropes. Cassius tries to catch him, but Johnny turns it into the Gargano escape, which I hate that name, by the way, but he hit it, and Cassius tapped out immediately. That was awesome. That was so great.
This place goes nuts. Everybody's going crazy. I know there are people on our board who hate Morrow. And one guy was really upset that Morrow had screamed, somebody test his DNA after Gargano did a kick out. But Mauro Ranallo was so fucking great calling this match. He was so great. I know that he says things that annoy people. Like he has certain things that he does that are annoying.
He's a little catchphrase intensive.
But you know what? He's a fucking great announcer. So when everybody else in this business, with the exception of Corey Graves, ranges from average to fucking terrible, then he's great. So can we quit complaining about it? He ain't Matt Stryker. He's certainly not Michael Cole.
No.
Especially the 1998 Michael Cole. Anyway, he was great. The match was great. Gargano's great. Cassius Ohno was great. This should have just been the finals.
That's true, actually.
Now they got to follow this.
Yeah.
Good luck, everybody else.
And there's no Cassius Ohno to do it.
No.
It's Johnny Gargano, Killian Dane, and 2 other guys.
Yeah.
That was a fun show.
The hell of a show.
Speaking of fun shows,
This was a fun professional wrestling television show.
Booker T's Reality of Wrestling from December 3rd, 2017.
Okay, now first off, let me explain this fight app thing, okay?
All right.
This fucking app is driving me crazy, but I think I figured it out. Listen to me very carefully, everybody, if you've been having problems. This is how you airplay from the fight app. Do not adjust any of these rules I'm about to give you, or it will fail. First, you must set your phone to landscape mode. You know what that means, landscape mode?
Horizontal.
Yes. Do this first. If you do the rest of this stuff and then you try to change it to landscape mode, it's not going to work. It'll just be a black screen. Switch it to landscape mode first. Then start the show that you want to watch. It is going to immediately ask, how do you want to watch this? On Apple TV or on your phone? Choose your phone. If you choose Apple TV, even if you want to watch it on Apple TV, that's going to fuck the whole thing up. So landscape mode, choose to watch it on your phone, allow it to begin playing for a while, and then swipe up from the bottom and airplay it to your TV, and then it will work. If you do anything different, you're going to get a blank screen, a black screen, you'll get audio only, you'll have the whole thing just go down. It's not going to work. You must do it exactly how I described it here. So that is your free for your $10.99. What do they call it? Customer service?
Tech support.
Tech support? That's what this is.
For other people's tech.
Now, there is one other thing that drove me nuts. And I've only seen it on the Reality of Wrestling. I've never seen it on any of the other shows I've watched. But randomly, 3 times during the show, an ad suddenly started. Now, not only did the ad start, but it randomly opened up a page on my Safari browser on my phone. So I had to shut that page and go back and start up the Fight app again. So that was infuriating. But with all that said, let's enjoy this show.
Yes, because this was an enjoyable show. First of all, the big picture stuff. As a TV show, there's a lot to like about this. Production values are great.
They're very, very good.
This show, for the most part, looked and sounded way better than, for example, Ring of Honor. It was lit better. It was shot better. The crowd was more lively. You could hear them better.
This crowd, aside from the main event on NXT, was hotter than anything else on that NXT show.
Yes. The announcers, whose names I didn't catch, but they were very good.
Matt Topolsky.
Thank you.
And Brad Gilmore.
They were very good.
Because they're just out there being commentators.
Yeah.
They're not given stupid rules.
No, they're just calling the action. Wrestling as a whole was indie level, good indie level. There's better matches every week on NXT, but the promos on the show ruled. One in particular.
Yes.
But from top to bottom, all the promos were good.
My one big complaint about this show, and granted, we're new viewers. If you're a longtime viewer, you probably doesn't bother you one bit, but so when the announcers appear on the screen, underneath them appear their names.
Yes, this is what I was going to get to.
Yeah, there's a couple of backstage segments. Farrah Z, for example, interviewed JJ Blake. Right there on the screen. Farrah Z, JJ Blake. Well, the wrestlers come down to the ring, and there's no graphics.
Yeah.
How in the world? So we know they have graphics.
Yes.
Because there's graphics throughout the show.
We've seen them.
Why aren't there graphics when the actual wrestlers, the most important people on the show, come down to the ring?
I don't have an answer.
So Wild Thing Raquel something.
Raquel Vaughn.
And Ivory Robin are the first matches, but they don't actually give us the names. We have to piece it together.
We have to listen very closely and do our best. Now, Raquel Vaughn I know, because you won't get this, Brian, but she's doing a gimmick based on a baseball movie.
Well, I could tell she was
Clearly a baseball player.
She was the female line drive.
She
She ran the bases before the...
She did. Line Drive did do that, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Have we ever told the Line Drive story? I'm sure we have. It's been a while. I'm going to tell it now. Line Drive was on the same show where
Well, you got to explain who Line Drive is.
I'll get to Line Drive in a second. This is the same show where Avalanche and Big Wood got so blown up they were walking the ropes.
Oh, yes,
Same show.
Famous show.
Line Drive would eventually become the referee No Bumps Bobby Hawthorne, who in fact got a custom license plate reading No Bumps. He was doing a baseball player gimmick. I think he had a mask on, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, Line Drive had a mask. So his big finish is going to be, I'll hand the guy in the tree of woe, I'll swing a bat like I've hit a home run, I'll run the bases, the four corners of the ring, and then I'll slide into home with a dropkick to the face.
Yeah.
Okay?
Pretty good.
Sure. Nothing wrong with
What do you mean, sure? That's great.
That's great. Okay. In theory. In execution, and I forget who he was wrestling, but he goes to hang him in the tree of woe. And the guy's upside down, and he's got one foot tucked under the turnbuckle, and he's got his hands on the ropes, and you can see there's something going wrong. And he's loose, or he's uncomfortable, or he's in pain, or something. Next thing you know, his leg is slipped out of the turnbuckle, and is sticking straight up in the air. So now he's hanging upside down in the corner, his hands are grabbing the ropes, both legs are sticking up in the air. A few seconds go by, his grip gives out, he falls onto his head and collapses at a heap in the corner. This whole time, Line Drive has just been swinging his bat. And he hears this noise behind him, and he looks and sees that the guy who's supposed to be in the tree of woe is now just a crumpled heap on the mat. And he runs the bases anyway and does his kick.
Why not?
Wild Thing Raquel Vaughn was
The
better.
show must go on.
Wild Thing Raquel Vaughn was better than Line Drive.
Oh, come on.
I just think it's funny that she's doing a gimmick based on a movie that came out at least a decade before she was born.
Cool.
So they had all kinds. She did do baseball spots, like she'd slide between Ivory Robin's legs and pop up and declare herself safe.
Hey, she had the wind-up pitch punch.
That actually was awesome. She had Ivory stunned, and she pretends she's holding a baseball bat and like swings around a couple times and then turns it into a double axe handle to the head. It was awesome. But then Raquel grabbed her.
I'm talking. She acted like she was on the mound,
Yeah.
and she spun her arm around and then threw a punch.
That happened too. And she eventually, Ivory, who is the Diamonds Division champion, she had a TKO for the win. That was that.
I mean, this is not a surprise because they run, I'm sure, similar buildings all the time and it's all the same fans, but these fans knew everybody's spots. And as soon as Robin hoisted her up for that TKO, they knew it was over. You could just hear the crowd. They knew it was done.
Yes. Farrah Z interviewed J.J. Blake.
Now, before you get into J.J. Blake, who is in fact a superstar, I must talk briefly about Farrah Z, their backstage interview girl they had. She did this interview exactly like the WWE girls do it. Exactly.
That's her career goal.
She, in the most monotone manner possible, read the most monotone question. It was eerie. And what was funny is I was watching it and I was thinking, this is so bad. And then it hit me that this is what the biggest wrestling organization on the face of the planet Earth, a $2.63 billion company today, wants their interview girls to do.
Yes.
What in the absolute fuck?
She has... that's her career goal, is to be Kayla.
Well, hey, she's there already.
Yeah, she
because it doesn't take much.
She has learned from the tops. I was going to say the best, but she's learned from the tops about how to do this job. She asks her generic question in a wooden, emotionless, inhuman manner and asks, "What are your thoughts?"
Can you imagine if to get like a super high-paying job at Microsoft, like you didn't have to be any good? You know what I mean? Like, when I was a kid...
There's a lot I could say about sports right
When
now.
I was a kid watching wrestling on TV, it was always like, you gotta be so good to do this. I mean, there were some guys that like weren't great or whatever, but like they were larger than life in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
You can flat out be horrible and you can be a WWE backstage interview girl.
Yes. It's a requirement.
You can be horrible.
You must be horrible.
Yeah, correct.
It's being good at your job is a detriment.
No, to be good at your job, you must be horrible.
At your job. So JJ Blake. We saw, it's not even a negative, it's just funny. We had the movie that came out in 1989 that inspired the wrestler in the first match, and JJ Blake is doing a JJ Walker gimmick in 2017. Everything on the show is 30 and 40 years old. Now, fortunately, it's just...
Have you listened to Booker T's commentary? None of this should surprise you.
I guess not. Fortunately, the JJ Walker is, as far as being a gimmick goes, is confined to a bucket hat and the catchphrase Dynamite. But tonight, JJ is wrestling Terrell Tempo. We eventually determined. And Blake says, I have beaten you...
I think it's Jarrell, but it might be Terrell. But I think it's Jarrell.
There were no graphics.
There were no graphics.
I'm sticking with Terrell because Terrell Tempo is a good name.
Okay.
Says, I have beaten you over and over again. I beat you in the ring. I beat you in the gym. I beat you on a plane. I beat you on a train. Says he is the number one contender. He's going to beat him one more time tonight. He's going to go into the title match at Christmas Chaos. This was a very, very good promo. This is a great promo. And there's more to come. The tag team champions cut a promo.
I have no idea who they are. They're completely unidentified. They did name their opponents, at least, the Heavenly Bodies.
Yes.
And the best part of this is they're cutting this promo talking about how great they are. In order to explain to us how great they are, they note, we beat a team with a damn double suplex.
They did say that. Yeah.
You got me convinced.
I was able to catch, their name is the Alpha Unit.
That's right. They were in the main event.
They're a paramilitary militia type thing. So there you go. Ivory Robin did a promo backstage. Called out Kylie Ray for Christmas Chaos.
Who, by the way, is not Kaylee Ray.
No, that's somebody else.
Yeah.
Kylie Ray. Smiley Kylie, she called her. Apparently, Smiley Kylie is doing a Pokemon gimmick. Because... Robin here had a Pokemon Trainer t-shirt and talked about that, and I didn't quite understand it. But yes, the Diamonds Division champion and her challenger are feuding over Pokemon.
It's a better promo than most of the WWE women.
Oh, hell yes.
Yeah. I do love that everybody's just got some crazy gimmick.
Yeah.
This is fun.
And they live it. JJ Blake versus Terrell Tempo.
My favorite part of this match. Reality of wrestling is so old school that they did a referee distraction to set up the babyface getting crotched on the top rope.
Yeah.
I loved it. And the finish, I didn't get the finish until later.
Yeah, I think if we were regular fans, we would have gotten it right away. It makes sense when you know everything.
Well, no. Maybe not. Because JJ had to explain why he did what he did, which led to a great moment.
He may have explained it to people like us who don't watch every week.
Could be.
Because a good TV show doesn't assume a good TV show assumes there are new viewers every week.
Sure.
That's important. So the gimmick is, as Blake had said earlier, he's the number one contender. Tempo is the number two contender. Okay? So they're doing this match, and it's a fun little indie match. Blake's finisher apparently is an elbow strike that he calls the Black Hammer. At one point, the announcers, as he was prepping for this move, one of the announcers said, quote, he's about to put his black hammer in his face. So it didn't work. The Black Hammer overshot its target. And they're fighting outside.
I hate that.
And the ref is counting 7, 8. And Tempo, the babyface, is frantically trying to get back into the ring. But Blake, the heel, is grabbing him by the feet, holding him outside to ensure they are both counted out.
Yes.
So Tempo is upset. Blake is happy. The announcers are upset and also confused. But it all shall be explained shortly. Well, the announcers did say here, Blake was the top contender. This was a double count out. Therefore, Tempo did not pass him in the rankings. So they assumed Blake would still get the title match at Christmas Chaos.
Sure, that was his plan.
That was his plan. That's what they assumed.
Yes, I'm number 1. I'll prevent number 2 from getting in the ring. I'll keep my spot.
If 2 ties me, he can't pass
Well,
me.
it's just like if you're the champion,
Yeah.
you don't lose your title on a countout.
No. Somebody was backstage showing somebody else a tape of himself winning a match with a dragon suplex through a table.
Yeah, whoosh, straight over my head.
He said he did not lose in Lucha Extrema, but Gino would lose everything, and they all laughed.
Yes.
Blake.
No. First, we had a commercial for Booker T's Pro Wrestling School.
We did.
This commercial was so awesome. It's just Booker T, old school, promoting his wrestling school. You can show up. We got new rings.
2 floors, 2 rings, and a full gym.
That's right. Footage of everybody training. If
And-
you can make it here, you can make it here. And they got footage from Reality of Wrestling. This was awesome.
And it's
If I were a young kid, I'd be just dying to go.
the whole point is they want to encourage you to sign up and pay money to go to the wrestling school. So they make it look like a party. Now, it's a lot of hard work, obviously, duh. But everyone's there smiling. Everyone's having fun. They're doing their drills, but it's like a game. This looks so fun. I was like, I'm going to move to Houston and train.
It's crazy.
And then I remembered I am 40 years old, 42 and old. And I wasn't good when I was young. Now then.
But there's still time, Vinny.
No.
You only live once, baby. Come on.
So, what was the lady's name again? The interview lady?
I'm not sure if
Farrah.
it was the same one, but Farrah Z.
It was Farrah Z goes to interview JJ Blake. And Blake's very excited. He explains his ingenious plan, his brilliant plan, which he used, in his own words, to beat Tempo again. Because even though it was a draw in the match, he was still a win for him. And he explains, I was the number 1 contender, he was number 2. We tied, that means he failed to pass me, that means I still get my title shot. And the interviewer says, actually, Blake, it was not a draw. You were both counted out. That means you both lost. So you're both out of the top of the rankings, and Abel, whoever this is going to get the title match instead. JJ Blake's world broke.
You know what was so great about it?
Everything.
He was me. Because when she explains, listen, dude, you were 1, he was 2, but you both lose. So now you're 2 and 3, and Abel is number 1. His eyes grow wide, and he just stops and says, how does that work? This was like me doing math.
He actually used it. Several seconds passed before he was able to move on and process this and ask questions. But he asked, what kind of wrestling math is that? That's a quote.
That's exactly. I felt for him.
He ranted. He raved.
There's nothing worse than thinking you're right about math and you're totally wrong.
He said reality of wrestling is screwing with him. He vowed to get his title back. This was so out of this world great.
This
is the
guy,
best.
he's a megastar.
This is the best thing I saw on either show. I like this promo more than the Cassius Gargano match.
I wouldn't go that far, but
Oh,
this was a great promo.
This was great. This was awesome.
If this guy doesn't make it somewhere, like something went wrong. He's so good.
Cameron Cole is the...
First, we had the Booker T radio program commercial.
I'm glad you took note of the commercials.
Oh, man, the commercials. This is what made the show so great.
Well, heated discussion it was called. Like Harlem Heat.
Yeah.
Something like that?
No, what's it called?
It's on an actual radio station. It was heated something. Heated talk.
Heated talk.
Heated talk.
Heated conversation.
Yeah.
Something like that. But anyway, I just love these old wrestling shows. They got sponsors.
The sponsors are
old school commercials.
Walker, Texas Lawyer.
Walker, Texas
You go on the
Lawyer.
website. You go on the website. Besides Shield and Walker, Texas Lawyer, there's also blinds. Booker T's favorite blinds. It says.
Yeah.
Everything about this is like. It's 1981. I'm watching a territorial show.
I love it.
It's perfect. So, Cameron Cole is the Reality of Wrestling television champion. I later learned when I went to the website. I thought he was the world champion, but he's the television champion. He looks exactly like Nick from The Bachelor. Cut a promo about Abel and something about Christmas Chaos and something about Stevie Ray. Honestly, I was still blown away by JJ Blake.
Well, it's him and Abel at the show.
Yes.
Because of what happened with JJ.
Yes.
In his attempts at math that failed.
Yes.
Poor fucker.
Alpha Unit versus the Heavenly Bodies.
All right, so full disclosure. When they first announced the Heavenly Bodies, I was so excited. Then you reminded me that Jimmy Del Rey is dead.
Yes.
That put a damper on this.
I mean, unlikely.
Then I'm thinking, well,
I still thought it might be like Tom Pritchard and Bobby Eaton.
Sure. I'm like, who the fuck are the Heavenly Bodies? So I look it up, and it's Dustin and Justin Carino.
Yeah.
Okay. So I hear the names, but like, I hadn't seen them yet. So 2 guys come to the ring, and then out comes the Alpha Unit. And I'm like, who is the Alpha Unit facing? Because I thought for sure they were facing the Heavenly Bodies on this show. And you said, that's the Heavenly Bodies. My mind. Speaking of JJ, listen, everybody. First off, let's be nice. These guys are... This was a fine match.
Yeah.
They're fine workers, okay? But when you've got the Heavenly Bodies gimmick, okay? There's 2 choices. The gimmick's either got to be that they're handsome guys with great bodies, or they're terribly ugly with horrendous bodies, right?
Sure.
These are like your 2 options. Mm-hmm. The 2 most normal-looking guys you ever saw are the Heavenly Bodies. It's like if you took 2 Trent Sevens, but you had them cut their hair off, so they just had normal short brown haircuts, and of course he's got to shave his mustache and his beard, because that makes him stand out. You had 2 totally normal, they're not really fat, but they're not, like, lean. There's nothing about them that stands out physically. Not one single solitary thing.
What they looked like was 2 guys from a random AWA show out of the 1970s.
Sure.
Because they were thick, they were barrel-chested dudes, but they do not count carbs. They do not do crunches. There's not an ab to be seen.
And they don't have the sparkly outfits. They don't dance to the ring. They don't do one Heavenly Body thing that you could even possibly imagine. I couldn't figure out why they were the Heavenly Bodies.
I guess because somebody has to.
No. Somebody does not have to be the Heavenly Bodies.
So they had a very fun tag team match. All 4 of these guys know how to do a tag match, and it was very good. The Heavenly Bodies, despite their I can't say unathletic, despite their large physiques, unassuming physiques. Thank you. They can do like leg lariats, and they got up for suplexes and stuff, so they know what they're doing.
One of them broke up a pin with a dive roll.
They did.
It's amazing.
The Alpha Unit hit a 3D, and they go to make a cover, and I think it was Dustin.
Yes.
He comes flying out of the sky to break it. He broke up the pin by flying over it, and I guess the wind in his draft as he flew over them, it yanked the guy off.
Sure.
So he kept doing some stuff, and one of the Alphas tried to suplex Justin into the ring, but Dustin tripped him and then held the foot down, and the ref counted 3, and we have new tag team champions.
First ever 3-time Reality of Wrestling tag team champions. Dustin and Justin, the Heavenly Bodies.
That was a very fun show.
This was a good, fun, old school pro wrestling
very
show.
Very easy watch. I would watch this in a heartbeat again.
Sure. This will be on the roster here and there.
Yeah.
We should try and watch part of that Christmas show.
Christmas Chaos?
Christmas Chaos.
See what we can do.
Yeah. There you go. It's on the Fight app, everybody. And now you've got the info on how to successfully airplay it to your television so that you too can watch it. So there you go, everybody. That's it. Don't forget to check out the front page for the Chris Jericho interview with myself and Dave. We'll have a new Observer live tomorrow. I think the plan for Sunday is it will be me and Vinny and Filthy Tom to make up for Filthy Tom not being here on Wednesday because he's at the MLW show. We would watch NWA as always, and the 2000, I believe, 4 Royal Rumble.